to Olivia Toomer's senior speech. Please also welcome her parents, Doctors Catherine and Anthony Toomer, her sister Ava from the class of 2016 at Prep, and family friend and Prep alum from the 2018 class, Elizabeth Burton. Olivia came to Prep in the 4th grade. Since she arrived in the upper school, she has served as president of the Green Club, and she's been a member of the Harry Potter student section, Schools for Schools, French, and FCS clubs and organizations. Outside of school, she served on the executive committee of the Red Cross Youth Board. Just looking at her topic, one can tell that this speech will be a memorable experience. Please welcome Olivia to the stage.
Now, if you have any old memories of me, you probably assumed that my speech would be about one of 3 things: Teen Wolf, Gummy Bears, or Beyonce. Well, sorry to disappoint. You remember correctly though, but what exactly is memory? Merriam-Webster defines memory as, quote, the store of things learned and retained from an organism's activity or experience as evidenced by modification of structure or behavior, or by recall and recognition, end quote. Now, my fellow psychology classmates are most likely remembering studying this topic earlier this year and will hear words throughout my speech that they recognize. That's right, Dr. Beckton, we haven't forgotten all of our terms yet. Understanding the formation of memory isn't difficult at all. 3 parts of the brain responsible for forming, retaining, and retrieving memory are the hippocampus, amygdala, and cerebellum. The hippocampus is, quote, a temporal lobe neural center located in the limbic system, end quote, and helps process memories for storage. Researchers argue the exact role of the hippocampus, but it has been argued upon that it plays a role in the formation and retention of short-term and long-term memory. It also, quote, encodes emotional context from the amygdala, end quote. Damage to this region can result in anterograde amnesia, or the inability to form new memories, or retrograde amnesia, which is the difficulty to recall information from one's past, making the hippocampus a crucial part in understanding memory. Another key component to memory is the amygdala, which is 2 lima bean-sized neural clusters in the limbic system that are primarily linked to emotion, but are also involved in memory consolidation. The amygdala moderates, quote, the effects of emotional arousal on the strength of memory of an event, end quote. Though responsible for the encoding of memory, if damaged, the amygdala will still encode information and enhance the memories of an emotional event. The neurons in the amygdala promote synaptic plasticity, which is involved in memory retention, and highly active neurons can cause emotional arousal. How active the amygdala is at the time of encoding information correlates with retention of that information. The 3rd part of the brain important to memory is the cerebellum. More important to procedural memory, the cerebellum is the little brain located at the rear of the brainstem, responsible for routines, practice skills, and motor learning, like motor control and coordination. The cerebellum also plays a role in memory retrieval and conditioning. These parts of the brain and their role in the formation of memory aid the understanding of different classifications of memory. The 3 main categorizations of memory are sensory, short-term, and long-term. Our memory processing begins with sensory memory, which is the immediate and brief storage of sensory information. It has no storage capability, but it temporarily holds information for it to enter the short-term memory process stage. Short-term memory is what we also call working memory, which is why many of our short-term memories are quickly and easily forgotten, where it has a capacity of 7 plus or minus 2 bits of information at a time before being processed into our long-term memory. The The last processing stage our memories enter is the long-term memory stage. This storage of information over an extended period of time is the reason why we can remember things over many years. It is, quote, maintained by stable and permanent changes in neural connections spread throughout the brain, end quote. Our long-term memory recall is linked to the emotional attachments to specific memories, thus creating another way we distinguish our memories. Many researchers find that emotions play a part in our recall of memories. Trying to recreate the emotion felt when the memory was formed can have, quote, a positive effect on our chances of recalling specific details related to it, end quote. Memories that are emotionally charged allow us to store longer-lasting memories and recall them more accurately. The amygdala, responsible for regulating emotions, plays a part in memory storage because storage is influenced by stress hormones. When we link strong emotions to our experiences, our brains release neurotransmitters and hormones, some of which can enhance our memory. For example, when we're stressed, our cortisol levels increase, which is a stress hormone that is released along with our brain secreting the neurotransmitter glutamate that helps us to remember stressful events. Stress and other strong feelings help our recall, which is why we can remember how we felt sitting in the 10 a.m. math exam. Sorry, Mr. Schaefer. Since we have such strong connections to our memories and value them, I asked my classmates some of their most vivid prep memories. Jake Estroff states his most prominent prep memory as, quote, the day that every single bathroom in the high school was being used at the same time, end quote. Natalie Leaud remembers the many times that everyone else was out for the hurricane but we still had school. Thanks, Travis, end quote. More positively, Jordan Brooks' favorite memory of prep are prep days and all-school picnics. Justin Meddings remembers, quote, getting facials done in ceramics. And lastly, Dalton Watt recounts when Olivia Toomer sent a Quizlet to the senior group chat before the English exam and saved my vocab grade. Anytime, Dalton. Now, I have a memory of my own. When I first visited Augusta Prep as a third grader, having been homeschooled for 3 years, I was approached by a confident little girl. She was Grace Daniels. Not knowing anyone at the school, I got nervous when she started walking towards me. As soon as she walked up to me, she introduced herself immediately and asked for my email address. I was kind of shocked, but told her I would give it to her before I finished my visit. And sure enough, when I was getting ready to go home from visiting prep, she got up in the middle of Miss Williams' music class, came out into the hallway, and got my email. I can honestly say now that she is one of my dearest friends and someone I feel will always be worth remembering. Now, as I chose this speech because my memories have always been a big part of how I view things and what makes me happy. They remind me that things can be better than they are and that it's okay when they don't always go how you plan. They serve as an instruction manual for our lives. Now to my fellow seniors, as we finish out our high school careers and move on to college, let's not forget the times we've had together as a class. We've become major parts of each other's lives. We have shared our struggles and our victories with each other and have provided each other with values of friendship that will last a lifetime. We will leave for college and make new memories with new friends, but we will never forget the fun memories we made together. From our first day of freshman year to our graduation day, we will remain united as a family through our memories.